Do you feel like you've been putting in the effort, but the results aren't showing up fast enough? Have you ever been tempted to quit because things seem slow or too tough? That's exactly where many people stop, but not you. If you want to achieve something meaningful in life, you need to work relentlessly. This means you have to stick to your goals, push through the tough times, and trust the process, even when it feels like nothing is happening. In this video, we'll break down the real meaning of relentless work and how it's the foundation of all success. You'll see how staying focused, working with purpose, and never giving up can transform your life. It's not just about working hard, it's about making the right decisions day after day, even when you don't feel like it. Have you ever wondered what separates the people who succeed from those who give up too soon? It's their willingness to keep pushing, keep working, and keep improving, no matter what. By sticking around and watching this video, you'll learn the steps that successful people take to make relentless work a part of their daily routine. It doesn't matter where you start. What matters is how you keep going, no matter the obstacles. By the end of this video, you'll have the tools and the mindset you need to keep your work focused, purposeful, and most importantly, relentless. Are you ready to take your commitment to the next level? Let's get started. Number 1, the cornerstone of relentless work. The cornerstone of relentless work is purpose. Without a clear, deep sense of why you're working, no amount of effort will carry the weight of sustained progress. Relentless work doesn't mean grinding mindlessly, working endlessly, without direction, or pushing yourself to the point of exhaustion. It's about being driven by a cause that matters to you, one that propels you forward every single day, no matter how tough things get. Purpose gives your work meaning, and it serves as the foundation for everything else you do. When you have a strong purpose, it becomes the fuel that keeps you moving when things get difficult. Purpose is the anchor that prevents you from getting lost, even when the seas of life are stormy. It's easy to give up when you're unsure of what you're working toward. But when your work aligns with your purpose, every obstacle becomes a part of the journey, instead of an insurmountable roadblock. Purpose is not just about having a goal, it's about understanding why that goal matters. It's about connecting to something bigger than yourself. It could be providing for your family, making a meaningful impact on the world, or simply creating a better future for yourself. Whatever your purpose is, it must resonate deeply within you. It's the reason you'll get up when you don't feel like it, push through the tough moments, and continue moving forward when the path isn't clear. When you are connected to your purpose, relentless work becomes effortless in a way. It doesn't feel like an obligation, but more like a mission. And even though there will be moments of struggle, your purpose will give you the strength to keep going. It transforms the process from something draining to something that fuels your soul. You start to see every task, no matter how small, as part of your greater purpose, and that gives you the energy to keep going. Now let's talk about the mindset that supports relentless work. A mindset of growth and belief in the process is crucial. If you don't believe in your ability to get better, to improve, or to reach your goals, then relentless work becomes almost impossible. A growth mindset understands that challenges are not obstacles, but opportunities for learning and improvement. A person with this mindset sees failure not as the end, but as a step in the right direction, a lesson learned and a way to do better next time. Believing in the process is just as important. Relentless work doesn't yield results overnight. It's a long game, a series of small, consistent actions taken day after day. The process may not always be exciting, and sometimes it may even feel like you're not making progress. But when you trust the process and stay committed to it, that's when the true magic happens. It's not about the instant gratification of results. It's about staying consistent, putting in the work, and trusting that every effort is bringing you closer to your goal. In this journey, resilience is key. There will be setbacks. There will be times when you'll feel like giving up, when everything seems impossible, and when the road ahead feels too long. But relentless work is about pushing through that. Resilience isn't about never falling down. It's about always getting back up. It's about understanding that setbacks are part of the process and not letting them define you. It's about knowing that your purpose is stronger than any temporary difficulty. You need to develop the ability to stay committed even when the results aren't visible yet. This is where many people falter. The initial excitement wears off, and they start questioning whether their hard work is worth it. But relentless work is the ability to push through those doubts, to continue putting in the effort, even when you don't see the results right away. It's about showing up, day after day, with the same energy and commitment, trusting that success will come as a result of the consistent effort you put in. Relentless work also means putting in the hours, even when you don't feel like it. It's about the discipline to show up, whether you're motivated or not, whether you're feeling great or feeling tired. It's about doing the work every single day, no matter what. Motivation comes and goes, but discipline is what keeps you on track when motivation is nowhere to be found. The difference between those who achieve great things and those who fall short is often not talent, but the ability to keep working relentlessly, no matter what obstacles come up along the way. Another key element of relentless work is the willingness to learn and adapt. If you're not learning, you're stagnating. When you're in the midst of putting in the work, it's crucial to take time to reflect on what's working and what's not. Don't be afraid to change your approach when necessary. Adaptability is part of being relentless. It's about adjusting your strategies, refining your skills, and staying open to new ways of doing things. Relentless work doesn't mean sticking rigidly to a plan that isn't working. It means learning from every experience and improving as you go. Another crucial aspect of relentless work is consistency. It's the small actions, repeated over time, that build momentum and lead to significant results. You won't become successful overnight, but if you commit to consistent effort, you will gradually see improvement. Consistency is about showing up, day in and day out, even when you don't feel like it. It's about building habits that support your goals and sticking to them. Relentless work isn't about bursts of effort, followed by periods of inactivity. It's about steady, consistent progress toward your goal. One of the most important things to understand about relentless work is that it's not just about doing more. It's about doing the right. It's easy to mistake busyness for productivity, but working harder doesn't always mean working smarter. It's about being intentional with your time and effort, focusing on the actions that will move you closer to your goals. Prioritize the work that has the biggest impact, and don't waste time on tasks that don't align with your purpose. Relentless work is also about staying focused on the bigger picture. It's easy to get caught up in the small details and lose sight of why you're working so hard in the first place. But when you remind yourself of your purpose and keep your eyes on the prize, it makes the daily grind easier to handle. Always come back to why you're doing this. It's that reminder that will push you through the hard days, when things feel tough and progress seems slow. Number 2, the decision that changes everything. The decision that changes everything is the moment you decide to stop waiting for the perfect opportunity and start taking action right now. That decision is what will move you from being stuck in a place of hope to actually making progress. It's a commitment to stop being passive and to begin taking control of your life. It's easy to get caught up in the belief that success is something that happens to us. We wait for the right moment, for the perfect circumstances to align, for things to feel just right. But what separates those who reach their goals from those who don't is that they make one simple decision. They take responsibility for their success, no matter what. This decision is not a one-time thing. It's not something you decide today and forget tomorrow. It's the commitment to act, even when everything is uncertain, even when the odds seem stacked against you, even when you don't feel ready. It's about deciding that you're no longer waiting for life to hand you an opportunity, but instead, you're going to create that opportunity yourself. It's important to realize that every moment of inaction is a choice. Not making a decision is in itself a decision. Every time you hesitate, every time you wait for the perfect timing or the ideal set of circumstances, you're choosing to stay exactly where you are, and that decision keeps you stuck. It's comfortable, but it's also limiting. You can't grow if you don't act. The decision to take responsibility changes your mindset. You stop looking outside yourself for answers. You stop blaming others, circumstances, or bad luck. You realize that your success is entirely in your hands. No one else can make the decision for you. No one else can do the work for you. It's your move, and when you make that choice, everything changes. Once you make the decision to take control, the next step is to make a commitment. This is where things get real. It's easy to make a decision, but it's the commitment that makes the difference. A commitment to stick with it, no matter how difficult it gets. A commitment to show up every single day, even when you don't feel like it. A commitment to trust that each action you take is getting you closer to where you want to be. Commitment doesn't mean you'll never face obstacles. In fact, it's when you commit to something that the obstacles tend to show up. But with this decision, you approach those obstacles differently. Instead of letting them stop you, You see them as challenges that will only make you stronger. You learn to embrace them, to find solutions, and to push forward with even more determination. A lot of people spend their lives in a state of wishing. They wish for success, for more time, for more money, for more opportunities. But wishing doesn't bring results. Taking decisive action does, and the moment you make the decision to take action, you shift from a state of wishing to a state of doing. And that's when the magic happens. It's the same decision that every successful person has made. Whether it's the entrepreneur who decided to start their business, the athlete who decided to train every day, or the artist who decided to create even when they didn't know if anyone would care, each one of them made a decision. And that decision made all the difference. Making this decision isn't always easy. There will be doubt. There will be fear. There will be times when you wonder if you're doing the right thing. But understand this, the decision to act is what separates the dreamers from the doers. And in that moment when you choose to take responsibility and move forward, you are already ahead of most people who are still waiting for the perfect time. When you decide to act, you give yourself the opportunity to fail. And that's okay. Because failure isn't something to be afraid of. It's part of the journey. It's part of learning and growing. The important thing is that you keep going. That's the difference between those who succeed and those who don't. The willingness to keep moving forward no matter what. In life, we often find ourselves paralyzed by indecision. But the moment you make a clear decision, the weight of uncertainty begins to lift. You start to feel lighter because now you know what you're doing. You've given yourself a direction, and every step after that becomes easier because it's aligned with your decision. You may not see immediate results, but don't let that discourage you. The decision to start is the most powerful step you can take. Once you make it, you build momentum. Momentum makes everything easier. With momentum, you stop thinking about the difficulties and start focusing on the solutions. You trust the process. You trust that each effort is compounding, even when it feels like nothing is happening. The truth is, most people don't ever make this decision. They remain in the realm of hope and dream, waiting for things to change. But real success isn't about waiting for the stars to align. It's about making the decision to act, even when it seems like everything is uncertain. It's about making the decision to take ownership of your life and your success. That's the decision that changes everything. So I encourage you to ask yourself today, what decision will you make? Will you continue to wait, or will you take control and start moving forward, regardless of the obstacles? This moment can be the turning point in your life, but only if you make the decision to take action now. Number 3. Time is your most valuable asset. It's the one thing you can never get back. Unlike money, opportunities, or material possessions, once time is spent, it's gone forever. The clock is ticking, and every second that passes is a moment you'll never recover. So how are you spending it? It's easy to get distracted, to let days slip by, thinking that we have all the time in the world. But the truth is, the future doesn't wait for anyone. You're either using your time to move closer to your goals, or you're letting it slip away. One moment at a time. The choice is yours. Think about how you spend your days. Are you filling them with tasks that move you forward, or are you letting them pass in a haze of distractions, excuses, and procrastination? It's easy to fall into the trap of believing you'll have more time tomorrow, or that one day you'll have the time to focus on what really matters. But the reality is that every day that goes by is one less day you have to make things happen. The truth is, time doesn't care about your plans. It doesn't stop for you when you're tired or feeling overwhelmed. It keeps moving, regardless of how you feel. That's why it's so important to make every moment count. Every hour, every minute, and every second is an opportunity to do something meaningful. You can't afford to waste time. Think about the people you admire, whether it's someone in business, an athlete, or someone in your personal life. What do they all have in common? They value their time. They understand that time is the most precious resource they have. They don't squander it on things that don't serve them. They prioritize what matters, and they make time for it. They make deliberate choices about where to invest their energy, and they focus on what brings them closer to their goals. One of the biggest mistakes we make is assuming that we have all the time in the world. But what we fail to realize is that life doesn't come with a guarantee. There are no promises that tomorrow will be there for us. There are no promises that we'll have another chance. That's why it's so important to act now, to use the time you have today to get closer to your vision, to take the necessary steps, to make progress. We all have the same 24 hours in a day. The difference between those who achieve great things and those who don't comes down to how they use that time. Successful people aren't any different from you in terms of time. They simply make better choices about how they spend it. They focus on the things that matter most and let go of the distractions. They understand that time is finite and that they can't afford to waste it. Time management is not just about scheduling tasks. It's about recognizing the value of time and respecting it. It's about making choices that align with your long-term goals, rather than getting caught up in short-term distractions. It's about prioritizing actions that move you forward and learning to say no to things that don't. One of the biggest threats to your time is the habit of procrastination. Putting things off for tomorrow, thinking you'll have more time later, is a dangerous game. It keeps you stuck. The longer you delay taking action, the further away your goals become. Time doesn't care if you're ready. It doesn't care if you have the perfect plan. It just keeps moving. And if you're not taking action, you're falling behind. We live in a world full of distractions. Social media, TV shows, unnecessary meetings, and countless other things compete for your attention. But each time you give your time away to something that doesn't align with your purpose, you're stealing from your future. The time you spend scrolling through your phone or binge watching TV is time you could be investing in your dreams. Now, this doesn't mean you should never relax or enjoy yourself. It's important to rest and recharge. But there's a difference between taking a break to restore your energy and wasting time on things that don't contribute to your growth. You have to be honest with yourself about how you're spending your time and whether it's getting you closer to where you want to be. One of the best ways to respect your time is to set clear, focused goals. When you know exactly what you're working toward, you can make better decisions about how to spend your time. You'll have a clearer sense of priority and you'll be less likely to waste time on things that don't move you forward. Your time is an investment, and every moment you spend is a deposit into your future. Ask yourself, what are you investing your time in today? Are you building a life you're proud of, or are you letting time slip through your fingers? Every decision you make about how to spend your time is a reflection of the future you're creating. If you want to build something great, you have to treat your time as the valuable resource it is. Time doesn't wait, and it doesn't owe you anything. But you can use your time to create the life you want. When you begin to recognize the value of every moment, you'll start making smarter choices. You'll start investing your time in things that matter, things that move you forward, things that push you closer to your goals. Number 4, focus on progress, not perfection. This mindset is crucial to achieving anything of significance in life. Perfection is an illusion. It's something we chase, but it always seems just out of reach. Progress, on the other hand, is real. It's something you can measure. It's something you can see and feel. One of the biggest traps people fall into is waiting for everything to be perfect before they take action. They want the right plan, the right resources, the right circumstances. But by the time everything aligns, it's often too late. The truth is, there's never a perfect moment to start. Perfection is a constant moving target, and the longer you wait for it, the longer you delay your success. Instead of striving for perfection, focus on making progress. Progress is all about movement. It's about doing something today that moves you closer to your goal. It's about taking one step at a time, no matter how small, and trusting that each step adds up. When you focus on progress, you start to see results. You see the effort you're putting in every day is building towards something bigger, and that's powerful. Perfectionism can paralyze you. It can keep you stuck, unable to move forward because you're too focused on making everything just right. You'll find yourself tweaking, reworking, second-guessing, and never finishing anything because it's never perfect enough. This cycle of doubt and delay will hold you back from reaching your potential. But when you focus on progress, you free yourself from that cycle. You give yourself permission to make mistakes. You understand that each mistake is an opportunity to learn and grow. Progress isn't about getting everything right. It's about showing up and giving your best effort every day, regardless of the outcome. One of the most powerful things you can do is shift your focus from being perfect to being consistent. Perfection might get you stuck, but consistency leads to results. It's about committing to the process and trusting that even if things don't go perfectly, you're still moving forward. The more consistent you are, the more you'll see how far you've come. Imagine trying to run a marathon. If you were obsessed with perfection, you'd never make it past the first mile because you'd be too focused on making every step perfect. But if you focus on progress, you just keep moving, one foot in front of the other. You adjust as you go, and with each step, you're closer to the finish line. This principle applies to every area of life. Whether you're building a business, learning a new skill, or improving your health, progress is what matters. It's not about being flawless. It's about making steady advancements toward your goal. When you focus on progress, the mistakes you make don't seem so daunting because you know they're part of the journey. Every failure is just another step toward success. Another thing to understand is that perfection doesn't exist in a vacuum. Perfection is subjective. What might be perfect to one person could be a failure to another. So why waste your time chasing something that is constantly changing? Instead, focus on making small, continuous improvements that help you become better each day. By focusing on progress, you also start to build momentum. Each action you take, each task you complete, no matter how small, builds on the last one. Momentum is what keeps you moving forward, even when things get tough. When you start to see progress, you get more motivated to keep going. It's like a snowball effect. Small efforts, compounded over time, lead to big results. Remember, progress is also about patience. It's about understanding that meaningful change doesn't happen overnight. Rome wasn't built in a day, and neither are your goals. You'll face challenges, setbacks, and moments of doubt. But if you stay focused on progress, you'll keep moving forward, no matter the obstacles. If you're committed to progress, you'll start to appreciate the process itself. The journey becomes just as rewarding as the destination. You'll stop measuring your success by how far you still have to go, and instead, you'll start to recognize how far you've come. That's the power of focusing on progress. It's important to set goals that are focused on progress, not perfection. Break down your big goals into small, actionable steps. Instead of setting a goal like, I want to be perfect at this skill, try setting a goal like, I want to improve by 1% every day. That 1% may seem small at first, but over time it adds up to significant improvement. When you adopt a mindset focused on progress, you become less concerned with the outcome and more focused on the actions that move you forward. You understand that you don't need to be perfect to make a difference. It's the effort that counts. It's the willingness to keep showing up and putting in the work that brings results. So let go of the idea that you have to be perfect. Stop comparing yourself to others or to some unattainable standard. Focus on the progress you're making. Celebrate your small wins. Recognize the effort you put in every day and acknowledge the growth you're experiencing. Over time, those small steps of progress will accumulate into something extraordinary. When you focus on progress, you become more resilient. You start to bounce back quicker from failures because you see them as part of the learning process. You stop being discouraged by setbacks, and instead you use them to fuel your determination to keep going. And that's when real growth happens. You'll begin to realize that perfection is overrated, and progress is what really matters. The more progress you make, the more you'll see that success isn't a destination. It's a journey. A journey made up of small steps, continual improvement, and relentless forward motion. That's what gets you where you want to go. Number 5. Protect your health and energy. Protecting your health and energy is not just important, it's essential to everything you want to achieve in life. Without your health, nothing else matters. No matter how big your dreams are, how ambitious your goals may seem, if you're not taking care of your body and mind, you won't have the strength or stamina to pursue them. Your energy is what fuels your progress, and without it, you'll find yourself running on empty, struggling to keep up. Every day you make choices about how you treat your body, and every one of those choices has a direct impact on how you feel, how productive you are, and how much energy you have to give to your work, your relationships, and your goals. The reality is, the better you take care of yourself, the better you'll be able to take care of everything else in your life. Start by understanding that your body is not just a vessel, it's your foundation. Your body is what allows you to show up every day, to do the work, to put in the hours, to make progress toward your dreams. And if you don't take care of it, if you neglect it, you'll find yourself paying the price sooner or later. When you're feeling run down, when you're fatigued, when you're not physically healthy, your ability to perform diminishes. Your mind becomes clouded, your focus wavers, and your motivation drops. The first step in protecting your health and energy is adopting a proactive approach. It's not enough to just wait until something breaks down. You need to build a lifestyle that nurtures your well-being. That means eating the right foods, getting enough rest, staying active, and managing stress. These may seem like basic things, but they're the building blocks for a successful, energized life. Eating well is one of the most powerful ways to protect your energy. Your body is like a car. it runs on fuel. The better the fuel, the better the performance. When you eat nutrient-dense foods, you provide your body with the vitamins, minerals, and energy it needs to operate at its best. Healthy food isn't just about avoiding junk. It's about providing your body with the right resources to perform at its highest level. You can't expect to get through long, demanding days if you're eating processed foods, sugars, or too much caffeine. Your energy will crash, your focus will fade, and your productivity will plummet. Exercise is another key factor. Physical activity isn't just about looking good, it's about feeling good too. Regular exercise boosts your energy levels, improves your mood, and strengthens your body to endure the demands of your day. It also keeps your mind sharp and your stress levels in check. When you're physically fit, you're better equipped to tackle challenges, to handle pressure, and to keep moving forward, no matter what obstacles come your way. Rest is equally important. Many people make the mistake of pushing themselves too hard, believing that the more they work, the more they'll accomplish. But in reality, overworking leads to burnout. When you're constantly on the go, when you don't take time to rest and recharge, your performance suffers. Your energy is drained, your decision-making ability weakens, and your creativity stalls. You'll find yourself stuck in a cycle of exhaustion, unable to give your best. So prioritize sleep and recovery. Aim for 7-8 hours of restful sleep each night, and take breaks during the day to give your mind and body the rest they need. One of the most overlooked aspects of health and energy is mental well-being. The state of your mind is just as important as the state of your body. If your mind is cluttered, stressed, or overwhelmed, it's going to drain your energy. You need to find ways to manage stress and clear your mind. Meditation, deep breathing, journaling, or simply taking time to unplug can help restore your mental energy. Protecting your mental health means giving yourself space to relax and recharge. This will allow you to stay focused, productive, and energized for the long haul. Managing your energy also means learning how to say no. We all have limits, and respecting those limits is essential to protecting your health. You can't do everything for everyone, and you shouldn't try. Taking on too much work or too many obligations can drain your energy and leave you with nothing left for yourself or your goals. Be intentional about how you spend your time and energy. Prioritize what matters most to you, and don't be afraid to set boundaries. Saying no to things that don't align with your vision is a form of self-care. You also have to protect your energy from negative influences. This includes people who drain you, environments that are toxic, and situations that leave you feeling frustrated or defeated. Surround yourself with positivity. Seek out relationships and environments that lift you up, that encourage your growth and well-being. The people you spend the most time with have a powerful impact on your energy. Choose wisely. Protect your mind from negativity, whether it's from other people or your own thoughts. Remember that health and energy aren't just physical, they're emotional and mental as well. Keeping your emotions in check and finding ways to stay grounded is just as important as staying physically fit. Learn to manage stress, let go of negativity, and stay emotionally balanced. The more emotionally stable you are, the more energy you'll have to invest in the things that matter. When you focus on protecting your health and energy, you're investing in your future. Every choice you make today, every healthy habit you develop, will pay dividends in the long run. When you take care of yourself, you're not just improving your health, you're improving your capacity to achieve everything you want in life. You'll be more focused, more productive, and more energized to pursue your goals. Protecting your health and energy is not a luxury, it's a necessity. Without it, you'll struggle to perform at your best. But when you prioritize your well-being, you'll be able to show up fully, ready to tackle whatever challenges come your way. Your health is your most valuable asset, and it deserves your attention, respect, and care. Number 6, stay patient and trust the process. Staying patient and trusting the process is one of the most powerful qualities you can cultivate in your journey towards success. In a world that demands instant gratification, the ability to remain patient and continue pushing forward without seeing immediate results can be difficult. But patience is not just a virtue, it's a necessity for anyone looking to achieve long-term success. When you embark on any significant goal or dream, it's easy to get discouraged if you don't see instant results. We live in a culture that rewards speed and immediate outcomes. Social media bombards us with stories of overnight success, making it feel like others are achieving their dreams effortlessly and we're falling behind. But the truth is, real success takes time, persistence, and resilience. It's about putting in the work consistently, even when the results aren't immediately visible. You must learn to trust the process. This means believing that all your efforts are leading to something greater, even if you can't see it right now. It's about knowing that every step you take, no matter how small, is moving you closer to your goal. You don't need to see the full picture today. Trust that every action you take today is building the foundation for your future success. Trusting the process requires understanding that success doesn't happen overnight. It's a journey, not a destination. Every person who has achieved something meaningful has faced setbacks, challenges, and delays. It's not about avoiding failure. It's about learning from it and continuing to move forward despite it. The process is where the growth happens, and you need to trust that every obstacle is an opportunity to learn and become stronger. Patience doesn't mean sitting back and waiting for success to fall into your lap. It's not about being passive. Patience is an active choice. It's about continuing to put in the work, to refine your approach, and to stay focused on your goal, even when the progress feels slow. It's about staying consistent, even when the results don't match the effort you're putting in. The key to patience is resilience. It's the ability to keep going, day in and day out, even when things are tough, because you know that each day is another step toward your goal. People who are successful in any area of life are the ones who refuse to give up. They don't let setbacks discourage them. Instead, they use them as motivation to keep going. They trust that the work they're putting in today will pay off, even if they can't see the results yet. That's the mindset you need to adopt. Don't measure your progress by immediate results. Measure it by your consistency, your willingness to learn, and your commitment to the process. Part of trusting the process is accepting that things won't always go according to plan. Life has a way of throwing curveballs, and it's easy to get frustrated when things don't unfold the way you imagined. But frustration comes from expecting perfection and control. The truth is, you can't control everything. What you can control is how you respond. When things don't go as planned, use those moments to adjust, adapt, and keep moving forward. You may not see the full picture yet, but trust that every piece you put in place is part of something bigger. It's like planting a seed. At first, you don't see any growth. You water it, you take care of it, but all you see is soil. But if you trust the process and stay patient, one day that seed will break through the ground. And when it does, the growth you see will be the result of all the care, effort, and patience you've invested over time. Patience also involves a deep level of self-belief. You have to trust that you're capable of achieving your goal, even when the journey is hard. It's easy to lose confidence when things aren't happening as quickly as you hoped. But remember, it's not the speed of your progress that matters. It's the direction. Are you moving toward your goal every day, no matter how slowly? If so, then you are making progress. Trust that if you continue, you will reach the destination eventually. Sometimes the biggest hurdle to staying patient is the feeling of being overwhelmed. When you look at the entire picture, the goal seems so far away, and you wonder if you'll ever get there. But the key is to break it down into smaller, more manageable steps. Focus on what you can do today, this week, this month. By focusing on the present moment and taking small, consistent actions, you remove the feeling of being overwhelmed, and you build momentum. It's important to remember that the process isn't always linear. Sometimes it will feel like you're taking 2 steps forward and 1 step back. That's normal. Progress isn't always smooth, and that's okay. What matters is that you keep moving forward, even when it feels like you're not making as much headway as you want. Trust that the setbacks are not signs of failure. They're just part of the process. There will be times when you feel like giving up, when it seems like the road ahead is too long and too difficult. But those are the moments when you have to dig deep and remind yourself that success isn't about quitting when it gets hard. Success is about showing up every day, doing the work, staying committed, and believing that even if it takes time, it will all come together in the end. As you trust the process, remember to celebrate the small victories along the way. Each step forward, no matter how small, is a sign that you're on the right path. Each time you push through a challenge, each time you keep going, even when it's tough, you're building the strength and resilience that will eventually lead to success. Patience doesn't mean passivity. It means maintaining the commitment to your goals, even when the results aren't immediately visible. It means believing in yourself and your ability to succeed. No matter how long it takes, stay patient, trust the process, and keep working relentlessly. Because in time, all the effort, the setbacks, the failures and the victories will come together, and you will see the success that you've been working toward. Number 7. Manage stress through action. Stress is something everyone faces. No one is immune. It comes with the territory when you're pushing for something big, when you're working toward a goal that demands everything you've got. But the key to managing stress isn't just about finding ways to cope with it when it hits. It's about taking action in ways that reduce its impact, in ways that stop it from paralyzing you, in ways that make you stronger, more resilient, and better able to handle the pressure. Stress has a way of creeping up on you when you least expect it. One moment, you're working steadily toward your goals, and the next you feel overwhelmed, anxious, and unable to move forward. It can feel like a heavy weight pressing down on your chest, making it hard to breathe, hard to think clearly, hard to do anything at all. But stress isn't something to avoid. It's something to manage, something to understand. When you know how to manage stress, it no longer has control over you. You have control over it. The first step in managing stress is taking action. Action is the antidote to stress. When stress hits, the natural reaction is often to freeze, to overthink, or to shut down. But in those moments, the last thing you need is to sit still. When you feel stressed, the best thing you can do is to keep moving, to keep taking positive steps no matter how small. Even if it feels like you're stuck, action will always create momentum. Start by identifying what is causing the stress. Is it a project at work? Is it a personal issue? Are you overwhelmed with too many responsibilities? Get clear on the source of your stress. Once you know the root cause, it becomes much easier to take focused action. A lot of stress comes from the feeling of being overwhelmed. There's too much to do, and you don't know where to start. But when you break things down, when you take it one step at a time, it becomes manageable. The first step to managing stress is deciding what needs to be done first, and taking that step. Don't focus on everything at once. Focus on one action, one small task, and execute it. Sometimes stress can feel like a mountain, but when you break that mountain down into smaller, more manageable pieces, it becomes a series of small hills instead. When you break your tasks into bite-sized chunks, you're giving yourself permission to take it one thing at a time, to focus on what's in front of you right now, rather than feeling overwhelmed by everything at once. This makes stress less daunting and gives you a sense of control over what feels out of control. Another way to manage stress through action is by setting clear, realistic goals. The sense of direction that comes from setting goals is incredibly powerful. When you know where you're going and why, it gives you purpose. Purpose is the antidote to confusion, and confusion is one of the biggest sources of stress. A clear goal provides a roadmap, a path that guides your actions. If you're feeling stressed because you're not sure where to start or what to do next, take a moment to define what success looks like for you. Break down your big goal into smaller, achievable steps, and start working toward that. Each step forward, no matter how small, reduces stress by building momentum and providing clarity. It's also important to take action in ways that maintain your well-being. Stress can easily consume you if you let it, so make sure to incorporate activities into your routine that refresh and recharge you. This could be physical exercise, meditation, a walk outside, reading, or spending time with people who uplift you. These actions are not distractions. They are essential to replenishing your energy and keeping your mind clear. When you're under stress, it can be tempting to push through and ignore your body's needs. But neglecting your well-being only increases stress in the long run. Instead, make time to care for yourself, so you can return to your tasks with a clear mind and renewed energy. Managing stress through action doesn't mean doing more. It means doing more of the right things. When you find yourself overwhelmed, you don't have to add more work to your plate. You need to focus on what matters most and get rid of the distractions. Prioritize the actions that will move you closer to your goal. In times of stress, it's easy to lose focus and get caught up in non-essential tasks. But the best way to alleviate stress is by focusing your energy on the things that are truly important. Cut out what doesn't matter, so you can focus your energy on the actions that will move the needle forward. Learning how to say no is a crucial aspect of managing stress. It's easy to overcommit when you're driven and ambitious, but taking on too many responsibilities will only stretch you thin and increase your stress levels. When you're feeling stressed, evaluate your commitments. Are they all necessary? Are they all aligned with your bigger goals? Saying no doesn't make you weak. It makes you strong because you're protecting your time, your energy, and your focus. When you say no to the wrong things, you're saying yes to the things that truly matter. A big part of managing stress through action is maintaining a positive mindset. When you're stressed, it's easy to slip into negative thinking, focusing on what's going wrong rather than what you can do to make things better. Action is the antidote to negative thoughts. When you take action, you shift your focus from what you can't control to what you can. Positive action creates positive momentum. Every time you do something productive, you build a sense of accomplishment that lifts your mood and gives you the confidence to tackle the next task. Stress is a normal part of life, but it doesn't have to control you. By taking consistent action, by breaking tasks down into manageable steps, by focusing on what truly matters, and by protecting your well-being, you can manage stress in ways that propel you forward. Remember, it's not the stress itself that holds you back, it's how you respond to it. When you choose to respond with action, you turn stress into an opportunity for growth. Number 8. Embrace sacrifice for greater rewards. Success is built on sacrifice. If you want to achieve great things, you must be willing to give something up in the short term to gain something far greater in the long term. Sacrifice isn't about loss. It's about trading something that may seem important in the moment for something far more valuable in the future. The key is understanding that every sacrifice you make brings you closer to your goals, to the life you want to live, and to the person you are striving to become. Sacrifice is a necessary part of the journey to success. It's not an easy part, but it is one of the most rewarding aspects of the process. You cannot have it all, at least not all at once. If you're serious about your dreams and your goals, you must be ready to let go of certain comforts, distractions, and even opportunities that don't align with your bigger vision. You will have to make difficult choices along the way, choices that may challenge your desires, your comfort zones, and your immediate gratification. But remember, sacrifice is an investment in your future. In the pursuit of success, the sacrifices you make are like deposits in a bank account. Each decision you make to focus on your goals, each time you say no to something that doesn't serve your vision, is a deposit towards something far more meaningful. Just like in financial investments, the more consistent you are with your sacrifices, the greater your eventual return will be. The sacrifices don't always feel good in the moment, but they are what will pay off in the long run. Think about some of the greatest achievers in history. They didn't get to where they are by simply taking the easy path. They made countless sacrifices along the way. They gave up time with their families. They sacrificed their comfort. And they took risks that others weren't willing to take. They were willing to pay the price for the success they wanted. And that price wasn't always monetary. It was often about giving up the easy, comfortable path for the challenging, uncertain road that leads to greatness. Sacrificing isn't about choosing between good and bad. Often it's about choosing between good and better, or even good and great. It's about recognizing that some things may feel satisfying now, but they don't contribute to the bigger picture. If you want something extraordinary, you need to be willing to put aside things that may seem important in the moment, but don't serve your ultimate purpose. This could mean sacrificing sleep to work on your business, saying no to social events in order to spend time learning and growing, or letting go of old habits and mindsets that are holding you back. Every sacrifice you make creates space for something better, something more aligned with the life you want to build. The temptation to avoid sacrifice is strong. The instant gratification of taking the easy route, the comfort of the present moment, can be hard to resist. But think about the consequences of avoiding sacrifice. If you choose to indulge in comfort and convenience today, you're delaying the reward that could be yours tomorrow. If you don't make sacrifices today, you'll have to make them later, but by then the price may be much higher. Delaying the hard choices only means that the harder ones will come later. The key is to face the sacrifices head on and realize that they are the steps that will lead you to the life you want. One of the hardest sacrifices you may need to make is letting go of your own doubts and insecurities. Many people are afraid of taking risks because they're scared of failure. They don't want to sacrifice their sense of security or comfort because they fear what may happen if things don't go according to plan. But fear is often the greatest barrier to success. It keeps you stuck in the same place, holding on to what's comfortable instead of stepping into what's possible. Sacrificing your fear, your doubt, and your hesitation is one of the most powerful things you can do to open up the possibilities in your life. By stepping out of your comfort zone and embracing uncertainty, you give yourself the opportunity to achieve more than you ever imagined. Another important sacrifice is giving up the need to please everyone. You cannot be everything to everyone, and trying to do so only dilutes your focus and energy. As you pursue your goals, there will be people who don't understand, who criticize, or who expect more of you than you can give. The sacrifice here is in your willingness to let go of the need for approval from others. You have to realize that your vision is yours alone. No one else can walk your path for you, and no one else can define your success. You have to be willing to make decisions based on your own goals, not based on what others expect or want from you. Sacrifice also involves letting go of distractions. There are so many things in life that can pull us away from our goals: social media, entertainment, negative influences, and time-wasting activities. While these things might provide temporary relief or pleasure, they don't help us move closer to our big goals. Sacrificing distractions means focusing your time and energy on what truly matters. It means saying no to things that aren't aligned with your values or your mission. By eliminating distractions, you free up more time and energy to invest in the things that will bring you closer to success. You must also be willing to sacrifice the idea of perfection. So many people hold themselves back from moving forward because they want everything to be just right. They want the perfect plan, the perfect conditions, and the perfect timing. But here's the truth: perfection is a myth. Perfection will never come. The pursuit of perfection often leads to inaction, which is the opposite of progress. Sacrificing the need to be perfect allows you to take messy action, learn along the way, and adjust as needed. The journey is about progress, not perfection. Embrace the imperfections of the process, and know that they are a part of your growth. Another important aspect of sacrifice is being willing to sacrifice short-term pleasures for long-term success. It's easy to indulge in things that feel good in the moment, whether it's eating junk food, spending money on things you don't need, or wasting time on unproductive habits. But those small momentary pleasures add up and take you farther away from your goals. The sacrifice here is in choosing what's best for your future over what's easiest in the present. It's about being willing to delay gratification in order to build a life that's more meaningful and rewarding in the long run. Number 9. Overcoming obstacles and building resilience. Obstacles are a given in life. No matter who you are, no matter where you're from, no matter what you want to achieve, you will face them. They come in all shapes and sizes: physical, mental, emotional, and environmental. They may arise in the form of setbacks, failures, doubts, rejections, or even complete roadblocks that seem impossible to get past. But let me tell you something important. Obstacles are not there to stop you. They are there to teach you, challenge you, and push you toward becoming the person you need to be in order to succeed. The key is how you respond to these obstacles. It's easy to get discouraged when things aren't going your way, but it's the way you handle those challenges that determines your future. Obstacles are not the end of your journey. They are a part of it. They are not the wall that stops you from moving forward. They are the ladder that helps you climb higher. You see, the ability to overcome obstacles is what separates those who succeed from those who give up. And that ability, my friend, is built through resilience. Resilience is the ability to bounce back, to keep going, no matter how hard things get. It's the mental toughness that allows you to take a hit, recover, and come back stronger than before. Resilience is not something you're born with. It's something you build over time through experience, effort, and persistence. It's forged in the fires of adversity and strengthened through each challenge you face. The more obstacles you overcome, the stronger you become. Resilience is not about avoiding hardship. It's about learning to thrive despite it. When you're facing an obstacle, it may feel like the world is against you. But remember, obstacles don't define you. How you respond to them does. The first step to overcoming any challenge is to accept it. Acknowledge that it's there, don't deny it, and don't waste time wishing it away. Obstacles are a part of life, and once you accept that, you can focus on finding solutions instead of wasting energy fighting the inevitable. Once you accept that the obstacle is there, you need to break it down. You can't always solve everything at once, so take a step back and look at the situation logically. What's the next step you can take? What's the first move you can make that will begin to push you in the right direction? When obstacles seem insurmountable, It's because we tend to look at the entire situation as one big mountain. But if you break that mountain down into smaller pieces, it becomes much easier to handle. Start small and build your way up. Each little victory along the way builds momentum, and momentum is what will carry you through to the end. Another essential part of overcoming obstacles is maintaining a positive mindset. It's easy to become negative when things aren't going your way, but negativity only makes obstacles harder to overcome. A positive mindset allows you to see possibilities where others see problems. It helps you focus on what you can control rather than dwelling on what you can't. When faced with adversity, train your mind to look for opportunities instead of obstacles. Every challenge contains a lesson, and every setback holds the potential for growth. The more you focus on the positives, the more resilient you become. Resilience is also about adaptability. Sometimes the solution to an obstacle isn't straightforward. It's not always going to be the path you expected or the route you planned. Flexibility is key to overcoming obstacles. You may need to adjust your strategy, change your approach, or try something new. The most resilient people are not those who never fail, but those who are willing to adapt and keep moving forward in the face of failure. If one approach doesn't work, don't be afraid to pivot. The ability to change your tactics without losing sight of your ultimate goal is a critical component of resilience. But let's be clear, resilience is not about ignoring your feelings or pretending that the obstacle doesn't affect you. It's okay to feel discouraged, frustrated, or even angry when things aren't going your way. Emotions are a natural part of the human experience. What resilience requires is not that you suppress your emotions, but that you don't let them control you. You acknowledge your feelings, but you don't allow them to dictate your actions. You keep moving forward, even when it's hard, even when you don't feel like it, even when every part of you wants to quit. You also need to surround yourself with the right support. When facing obstacles, don't try to go it alone. Resilience doesn't mean you have to do everything yourself. Sometimes, the best way to overcome a challenge is to seek guidance from someone who's been there before. To lean on a mentor, a friend, or a family member who can offer advice, encouragement, or simply a listening ear. Building resilience doesn't mean isolating yourself. It means knowing when to reach out for help. Along with seeking support, you must also be willing to push through the discomfort. Growth doesn't happen in your comfort zone. Overcoming obstacles requires you to step into discomfort, to push beyond what's easy and familiar. It's in the moments when you feel the most challenged, the most pushed to your limits, that the greatest growth occurs. Each time you push through an obstacle, you build your capacity to handle even bigger challenges. You're training yourself to be stronger, more capable, and more resilient for the next one. Another crucial element in building resilience is understanding that setbacks do not equal failure. Failure is often viewed as the end of the road, the final verdict. But in reality, failure is a stepping stone on the path to success. Every time you fail, you learn something valuable. You learn what doesn't work, and that knowledge brings you one step closer to figuring out what does. You cannot build resilience without facing setbacks. They are part of the process. Instead of fearing failure, embrace it as part of your journey. Resilience is also about taking responsibility for your actions. When faced with obstacles, it's easy to point fingers, to blame circumstances, other people, or even bad luck. But the most resilient individuals take responsibility for their own lives. They understand that no matter what happens, they have the power to respond. They know that no matter how difficult the obstacle, they can choose how to react. Taking ownership of your responses and decisions puts you in control and empowers you to move forward, no matter what. Building resilience is a long-term process, not something that happens overnight. It's about consistently facing challenges, learning from them, adapting, and growing. Each obstacle you overcome makes you stronger, more capable, and more prepared for the next one. The more resilient you become, the less those obstacles will seem like insurmountable barriers. You'll begin to see them as opportunities for growth, as stepping stones that are pushing you closer to your goals. Number 10. Take full responsibility for your results. Taking full responsibility for your results is one of the most empowering actions you can take in your life. It's easy to point fingers, to blame others, or to make excuses when things don't go as planned. But the truth is, your results, whether good or bad, are the direct outcome of the choices you make. When you accept full responsibility, you reclaim control over your future. You stop being a passive participant in your life and become the active creator of your destiny. It's important to recognize that no one else is responsible for your success or failure, but you, your actions, your decisions, and your mindset are what determine where you end up. It's not your circumstances, it's not the people around you, and it's certainly not the economy or the government. Your results are a reflection of what you've done or what you've failed to do along the way. When you take ownership of your results, you stop being a victim of external factors, and you begin to see yourself as someone who is capable of creating the life they want. The first step to taking responsibility is accepting that you are in charge. You are responsible for your choices, your behaviors, your habits, and your actions. Even when things go wrong, even when life throws curveballs, you must accept that you have the power to respond in a way that aligns with your goals. It doesn't matter if you've made mistakes or faced setbacks along the way. The most important thing is that you own up to them and learn from them. Owning your results doesn't mean that you should blame yourself when things don't go perfectly. It's not about feeling guilty or beating yourself up. Instead, it's about recognizing that you have the ability to shape your life through your decisions and actions. If you're not where you want to be right now, it's not because of something outside your control. It's because of the choices you've made up until this point. By taking full responsibility for your results, you put yourself in a position of power. You're no longer at the mercy of external circumstances. You realize that you hold the key to changing your situation. You might be thinking, but what about things that are out of my control? That's a valid point. But let's clarify something important here. While there are certainly things that are outside your control, such as the actions of others or unforeseen events, how you react to them is always in your hands. For example, if you lose your job, you may not have control over the fact that it happened, but you absolutely have control over how you respond. You can choose to sit back and feel sorry for yourself, or you can take proactive steps to find another job, improve your skills, or even pursue a new career path. Your response, not the event itself, determines your result. Taking full responsibility also means taking ownership of your mindset. Your attitude and the way you think about situations will shape the actions you take. If you adopt a victim mindset and believe that the world is against you, you'll likely find yourself stuck in a cycle of frustration and hopelessness. But if you choose to adopt a mindset of responsibility and empowerment, you'll find yourself taking control of your circumstances and moving toward positive outcomes. A responsible mindset is one that asks, what can I do about this? Instead of why is this happening to me? The difference in these approaches can change everything. When you take responsibility for your results, you also take responsibility for your learning. The best way to improve your situation is to recognize that you are always in a state of growth. If something goes wrong, instead of placing blame, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? There's a lesson in every failure, every mistake, and every setback. By taking responsibility, you open yourself up to continuous improvement. You understand that your results are simply feedback, and feedback is the fuel that drives your growth. Every challenge you face is an opportunity to learn something new about yourself and about how to navigate life more effectively. It's also critical to recognize that taking responsibility doesn't mean you need to do everything on your own. There's a difference between taking responsibility and trying to do everything yourself. Asking for help when you need it, seeking advice from others, or collaborating with people who have complementary skills doesn't diminish your responsibility. It enhances it. It's about understanding that you have the power to seek solutions, whether that's through learning from others, hiring a coach, or finding support from your network. Responsibility means using all available resources to achieve your goals. When you take full responsibility for your results, you stop making excuses. Excuses are the enemy of progress. They might provide temporary relief, but they prevent you from facing reality and moving forward. Excuses allow you to blame outside forces for your circumstances, but they do nothing to improve your situation. If you want to move forward, you have to face the hard truths about where you are, where you want to go, and what it will take to get there. There will always be reasons why things aren't going perfectly, but the most successful people are those who stop making excuses and start making progress. Taking responsibility also means you must commit to consistent action. It's not enough to simply acknowledge that you are responsible for your results. You must take the necessary actions to create the outcomes you want. This might mean putting in long hours, pushing through difficult moments, or stepping outside your comfort zone. Taking responsibility means showing up every day, doing the work, and making progress, even when it's hard. Results are not achieved by sitting on the sidelines or waiting for the perfect moment. They are earned through consistent effort and commitment to doing what it takes to succeed. When you take full responsibility for your results, you also take control of your time. Time is one of the most valuable assets you have, and how you spend it will determine your results. If you waste time procrastinating, making excuses, or engaging in unproductive activities, you are not taking full responsibility for your future. On the other hand, when you use your time wisely, prioritizing the actions that bring you closer to your goals, you start to see results. Time management is a critical skill, and it's something that only you can master. The way you spend your time reflects the value you place on your success. One of the most powerful things you can do when taking responsibility for your results is to embrace accountability. This means holding yourself to a high standard and being honest with yourself about your progress. It's easy to get complacent or to make excuses when no one is watching. But when you hold yourself accountable, you set yourself up for greater success. This could mean tracking your progress, setting clear goals, or sharing your goals with others who can help keep you on track. Accountability creates a sense of urgency and a commitment to taking action every day. It's also important to take responsibility for your emotional state. Your emotions can drive your actions, and they can either propel you forward or hold you back. If you allow your emotions to dictate your behavior, you might find yourself stuck in frustration, doubt, or fear. But when you take responsibility for your emotions, you gain the power to choose your response. You can choose to remain positive, to stay focused, and to keep moving forward despite the challenges. Your emotions may rise and fall, but your responsibility is in how you respond to them.